It's time for the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games at Southern Utah University in Cedar City. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of a Utah sports tradition at utahsummergames.org. Participate in over 50 sports around the state. Then plan to join the opening ceremonies Friday, June 5th, presented by State Bank of Southern Utah. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games.
You're locked on to Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaCombe. Presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Your new zone lineup, DJ and PK every day from 6 to 10, as it has been for the last 24 years. That's not changing because, we're not going to mess with that institution. Myself and the coach, Tim LaCombe, every day from 10 to 2, and then Jake and Ben from 2 to 6. And let's just say the new lineup has been well received by a lot of people out there.
Yeah, most. I think most people are pretty excited. You always have, the few, the minority.
Yes, but some of the texts we got last night were very nice.
I think we're hearing from the right people, too.
Yes.
I mean, from where I sit. So we're definitely going to groove this thing as we get together more and get this thing going. It's going to be not much. I'm just trying to keep up with greatness, let's be honest.
I know. Lloyd sets the bar really high there.
I pointed to you guys. Glad he was on the phone.
John Kimball's going to join us here in just a moment. Former sales manager of 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone, but more importantly now the president of Real Salt Lake.
And they had a big night last night, man.
They had
excited to hear his thoughts on it.
Huge night last night because, it's interesting when you walk a line like that, you're still a competitor. Like, you still want to kick his butt, but also you want to enjoy the fact that the greatest ever play the game is in your backyard, and you just don't get to see that in an international game like this.
And the fact that, the fans were there way, way early, the excitement that was built. I saw people staking out the field out in Harriman the other day. They had to have people out there making sure they had their security. But awesome. Just a cool pivotal moment for soccer here in the state. It was cool.
All right, joining us now, he is the president of Real Salt Lake, John Kimball, kind enough to hang out with us right here on the Zone. John, how you doing?
I am great. I flew to Portland this morning to meet with Adidas, so I had an early day after a late night, but all is good.
Well, I will say it was a late night, but when you saw – because, when you schedule this game, the naysayers came out and said, oh, he's not going to play. Miami's going to be there, but he's not going to play. And when you saw him take the pitch and go a full 90, I got to imagine you had a big smile on your face.
Absolutely. That's whether anybody wants to admit it or not, that's a big part of this game is delivering Messi. And he has been true to his word. I believe he's played 90 minutes in every game this year. And it kind of holds true with what the league discussed with me when we found out about the game, was that Messi wants to get prepared for the World Cup. And if you watched the game last night, he was on fire, was, making runs. Played a great game. I will say that we shut him down pretty well, but there's a couple other players on that team that are pretty good, and they had 2 world-class goals. But it was a good fight. It was just a couple of minutes of a lapse, and otherwise, that was a really solid, well-fought game.
John, what went into the decision? I know many have taken the opportunity to put Messi in a bigger stadium and sell more tickets, but I kind of like the fact that you're always going to have the photos of Messi playing right there on that pitch, and I imagine that had something to do with it. But what went into that decision?
It was a proud moment, to your point, to have him in our building. And again, I would like to say that with the Miller acquisition, this was an amazing thing to be able to deliver this year. And quite honestly, if there was a building at a larger capacity, we may have considered that. But the University of Utah field's a little bit too thin, and it's turf or AstroTurf, and then BYU's field is crowned, so you can't play on a crowned field. So we didn't really have an option to do that. But I was really proud to deliver a very unique, intimate experience last night, because that's what it was. And there is not a bad seat in America First Field. And if you were there, you felt it. I think it was a little bit of a taste of what's coming with World Cup. It's just that passion and just packed buildings and the chants, and it was just an amazing electric night.
I mean, I'm sure from a revenue standpoint that would have been nice, but you know what? Honestly, I kind of like the fact that it was an America First field because it was so quaint. It's like, watching your favorite band that usually plays in front of 70,000 people. You get to see them in a much more intimate venue, and I think that was a really cool opportunity for those fans to be able to enjoy that game. And what I thought was really cool is that I kind of assumed that there would be a ton of just Messi fans there, but you know what? It was packed with Real Salt Lake fans that wanted to see Messi, sure, but they wanted to see a W.
Yeah, and that's what's so exciting about this year. We have a very different model. Our model is we're, building a team. We're not buying a team. And with our young players playing as well as they played against the national champions last year, Inter Miami, and to be doing as well as we are with our philosophy of kind of growing and building through our academy, it just kind of shows that our philosophy is on track and that we're doing something special. And there's a different way to be champions in this league, and that's our full expectation and intention.
We had the opportunity of having Xavier Gozo on 2 days ago, talk about the upcoming game and get to know him a little bit. Really, really exciting the fact that he's homegrown as you speak about the development. What does it make Xavier so great, and what do you expect for him in his future?
I'll tell you, Xavier is an amazing footballer, amazing athlete, but more importantly, he's just an incredible man. He's just a really solid human being, and his intentions and his work ethic are really speaking volumes to why he's seeing success. But it does, bode well for our academy. And I'll tell you, there's more players coming out of our academy. We've got Tony Beltran has done an amazing job with our academy, Jason Kreis and Kurt Schmidt. And we've got a line of players that are coming in the next couple of years that are going to just, again, back up what we're talking about from building from within and giving these young players an amazing opportunity. And then, with that, we're peppering in some really solid veterans that help them, understand how to conduct themselves on the field and off the field. And we think that mix is going to be something phenomenal. And with Xavier, you're going to see a kid like that do amazing things. I think he will have opportunities globally, and he will keep producing. I'd love to see him considered for the World Cup even this year. And, that possibility is out there. That rumor is out there. So I think he's going to do amazing things. I
don't think there's any doubt. And what really impressed me was, look, the guy's 19. It seems like he's got the world in the palm of his hands right now. And he was a really well-spoken, grounded kid. And you don't see that a lot with some of these young phenoms.
No, he is. He's just he's an incredible kid. I'd call him a man now because he's growing up. But great parents, raised in just a great community, and it's really fun to see a kid like that come out of Utah and through our academy. And we're extremely proud of him and the other players that have come through our academy as well.
John Kimball, president of Real Salt Lake, joining us right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. You guys are off to a great start and a lot of momentum. I know the question marks were surrounding your team going into the season, and it's a long season. You're still early in it, but you've got to be impressed with what your team's shown here early in the early stages.
Yeah, we're very excited, and this is, something we've been working on for the last, 3-5 years. And I know there's been a lot of people that have had opinions about our strategy and how we're doing things, but again, the result on the field is what speaks volumes. And this season's going to be a special season. I think we're going to learn a lot from that game last night. Again, with a lot of young players to play a team like that's full of veterans and full of global experience. It's just another opportunity for them to learn and get better. And again, we're going for cups. That's what we want and all of our players believe that they're capable of that. So we're going to have a very special year this year.
Speaking of the roster, where do you feel like the roster is strongest right now, and where does it need a little help or a little growth development?
I think part of it was us getting healthy. We've had a couple players injured. Diego is back strong. Unfortunately, I think he was a little sick last night, as well as Scozo. I think they're both a little bit under the weather. But I think across the board, we've got such a solid team with some of the new acquisitions that we've done up front, and then even in the back. We've got a solid team across the board, and the other key is that we're deep. And with these young players, these 18, 19-year-old kids that can come in, the ones that really started this season and got us off to an amazing start, with now some of our veterans now healthy, it just allows us to have a very deep bench, and there's a lot of teams that don't have that ability. And so I think that's what's going to help us in the long stretch.
The World Cup brings obviously a ton of attention to the game of soccer, but just from the logistics of what you guys are trying to work through in terms of having rosters and scheduling games, how much does that affect this season?
It obviously there's a break, and that I would say there are teams that some players will take a little bit of a vacation with something like this, but I'll tell you, I think our team is so focused on doing something special this year that's just going to sharpen them. They'll get to watch and see and even participate in some of the most amazing soccer that happens in the world. Like I've said it to you before, Scotty, this is the largest sporting event in the history of the world, what's going to happen in America, Canada, and Mexico this summer. And I think Americans aren't necessarily woke up to that yet, but something very special is going to happen. And I think it's just going to be inspirational for our team and our players.
Outside of Xavier, John, what's one player? Give us a player that fans should watch this year, somebody you're excited about.
I'd have to tell you, I'm just excited across the board. Alex Catranas has been one of our veterans that's doing an amazing job. Our goalie, Rafa, is just lights out. And then just across the front with Diego and his opportunity potentially to go to the World Cup. We've got in Morgan and what he's done. He's made everybody on the team better with how he and his skill and how he can pass the ball. We got an amazing group of people. So I'm excited across the board for all of them. And again, I think as a team, they're really going to do something special.
You were and still are a heck of an athlete, and you've been on a lot of teams, and you know what it's like to try to bring a team together. I can't imagine what that's like in the soccer world. And I asked Xavier about this the other day. When you've got guys from all over the world that speak different languages, different religions, different backgrounds, and this isn't United States, this is a global mix of players. And yet to have a locker room that he talked about, the chemistry is through the roof, and they may not be able to communicate well from a language barrier, but everybody's on the same page. Does that come from your coaches? Where does that stability in that locker room come from? Because I can't imagine that's easy to build.
I think it's a pretty equal balance because we've had an amazing coaching staff. Pablo I think he's one of the most tenured coaches in the MLS now. And he's been consistent for us. But the other part of that recipe is having really solid veterans and just a solid group of players. We've had players that didn't create a good chemistry in the locker room, and that can create a fracture and create some issues. But this year, there's just an equal force between our amazing coaching staff led by Pablo and just an amazing group of players that want to win and want to work for each other. And the inspiration comes across the board because, here's veterans allowing and letting younger players, get into that mix and encouraging them to be the very best that they can be. And so across the board with that equal effort, again, I keep saying it's something special because it really is. And when you get the locker room right, then a lot of things can go right on the field. And I think that's what's happened this year is the locker room is in – It's probably in the last 5 years that I've been back, it's the best locker room I've seen.
John, you were named president in 2020, so going on 6 years. This is probably a blur, all of it. But from that, what are some things you've learned along the way that maybe you didn't know going in?
It's just for me, it's just been a collective effort, and we've just got such an amazing group of people from our executives across the board. And now I would say with the infusion of the ownership with the Miller Group, I've worked with the Miller Group before. They're fantastic people, led by Steve Starks and Michelle Smith. We've just got the support that we need to do something special. I keep saying that word, but when you have a family and a group that's present and local that wants to give back and wants to invest in our community, they're making sure that everything on the sporting side is right. They're investing in the locker room with medical and all of the things that they need to have both our men's and women's team be at an elite level. And that's led by Jason Kreis and what he's doing and his inspiration and guidance from being our head coach that won a national championship to, an amazing player. And then, on the other side, there's a lot of investment going into the stadium. You're going to see some really cool things happen here in the near future. We have a couple clubs that we've already remodeled, but you're going to see more investment. And so the Miller organization and family are doing exactly what they said they would do. And so to be surrounded by such a great group of people all the way from the top down, it's inspirational for me. It makes me excited to come to work every single day. And I'm just super lucky to be a part of this group and the executive team that I have.
So you've managed a lot of people. Who are the more difficult people to manage, professional athletes or radio guys?
No, I love you guys. You guys are awesome. And I know sports is going to turn its eye a little bit this year to soccer, but it is a beautiful game. And I'm telling you, there's going to be some magical things that happen during this World Cup. So I just hope everybody pays attention and what you guys do to bring that to our community so that they're aware of what's happening. Again, I have so many friends that listen to you guys and just really appreciate all that you guys do.
You're the best. Appreciate it. Tell our good friends at Adidas hi. I'm a size 11.
11, yep. 211. So
okay, there you go.
Easy to remember.
Yep. So,
and hey, the drone show from everybody that went was a huge success. So great work there
cool.
too.
Cool. I was running around, so I didn't get a chance to see it, but I appreciate you saying that. So you guys said your waist size is an 11?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That would also serve as my IQ. So,
hey, appreciate it, John. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks, you guys. Have a great day.
You got it. Man, he put in a ton of effort to make that work. That is something that the Miller Group and John Kimball specifically have been working towards for a long time, ever since that announcement was made. And to see that go off without a hitch and to see Messi play 90 minutes last night, couldn't have asked for a better situation.
Yeah, that was perfect. The whole thing, he could have scored a goal or Real could have won.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, the greatest of all time here in Utah for an evening and a very intimate experience. Great job by RSL pulling that off.
All right, coming up next, we'll spin the wheel. Sports Roulette straight ahead right here on The Zone.
It's time to spin the wheel and talk some sports. This is Sports Roulette on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Big thanks to John Kimball, who joined us. Tom Holmoe also joined us earlier in the show. Great conversation with him about the NFL draft and what it was like for him as he got stood up by the USFL. USFL drafted him, and then he never heard from him again. Fortunately, the NFL was there to save him.
It was a little like my interview process.
Oh, yeah?
Go ahead.
Do tell.
No, it's just a lot of space with no news.
Yeah, well, you know what? No news sometimes is good news.
Yeah.
As it turned out.
I'm just kidding. I'm having fun.
Are you, though?
I told Lloyd.
Are you? That's
you,
the
though?
question. I want you to have fun.
Yeah, I told Lloyd to stay in contact with you, but
I texted you several times. Apparently, you didn't respond.
My bad.
All right, let's get to it. Sports Roulette. We take some of the big headlines, put it on a roulette wheel, we spin it, and wherever that little white ball lands is what we end up talking about. So with that, Lloyd, fired up.
Thanks a lot, Governor.
Thanks a lot, Governor. Well, guess what? The governor of Kentucky got his way after throwing a fit about, the governor's name, Andy Bashar. Thought it was Andy Bernard, almost a little Office fame. But he was very upset because Mitch Barnhart, the athletic director, was retiring but moving into another role within the athletic department that would pay him $1 million a year. The governor then got upset and said, I am losing confidence and growing increasingly concerned with the management and decision-making at the University of Kentucky. My concern includes the creation of a new $1 million job that has no defined roles. So with that, Mitch Barnhart has got essentially refirement going on. The statement was, Mitch Barnhart came to me earlier this week to share his concern about the discussion surrounding his future role. Mitch and his family care deeply about the institution in our state. They want to focus on a return to work that matters for our students and the Commonwealth. With that in mind, Mitch has informed me that he will retire from the position of athletic director on June 30th and will step away from the proposed ongoing role leading the sports workforce initiative at the university. So the governor throwing a fit just cost him $1 million a year.
I can imagine Mitch was on the phone for like 3 weeks going, man, you're going to believe this. But I got an attaboy job.
Yeah.
I got an attaboy job.
Got the old golden parachute.
And I don't really need, I can walk across campus and every now and again, but it's $1 million a year.
Yeah.
That sounded pretty good to me. I like that the governor stepped in and shut it down. It probably has something to do with the state of Kentucky athletics. Mark Barnhart hired Stoops.
Yes.
Didn't go well. He's hired Mark Pope. Right now, people aren't real thrilled with what's going on. So the governor stepped in, and I would imagine that will get him some points in the public domain.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you go out there and you say, look, Kentucky basketball sucks right now, and I'm going to do what I can as a governor to fix it. And it's like, okay, what do people really care about? Taxes? Yeah. Gas prices? Yeah. Kentucky basketball? Yes, they absolutely care about that. So what can we do to get the people all fired up? I'm going to go after that program and try to fix it. So there you go.
Well, we'll see what happens. And the crazy thing is, we made the tournament. We went to the Sweet 16 year one.
Yeah.
Made the tournament not so great second year. But right now they're just struggling to find guys to come play. And the governor, I guess he's set a timer for the Cats.
Look, you take a job. It's a well-paying job. It's a blue blood, and it's awesome. It's your alma mater, but with that comes a high level of expectations. And when you don't meet those expectations, there's hell to pay.
And what's crazy, dude, is we're talking about Kentucky. It goes fast when you lose the Mo. I remember being on elevator and we just won 30 games 2 years in a row. And we're going up from practice one day and coach said something flippant like, don't get too comfortable because when it goes, it goes.
Yeah.
And man, did I ever learn that. They love you when you're winning.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But then everybody knows what you're doing wrong when it's not and is more than happy to tell you about it.
Oh, they've definitely got suggestions.
Yeah, and it's not just a BYU thing. That's everywhere.
Yeah, and honestly, Kentucky's probably far worse.
Oh, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's got to be one of the toughest places to keep people happy.
Because if they're not in the running for a national championship every year, something's wrong.
They are not about getting to the tournament.
No. In fact, it's probably if you don't get to the Elite Eight, it's a horrifically disappointing season.
Yeah, and as you know, it's hard to win a game.
Yes.
Anywhere on the moon, at Long Beach State, at some nights in San Jose when there's no crowd, but somehow, some way, they just find magic. It's hard to go out there and be successful. So, to put the expectation to win a national championship every year, yeah, you better be cranking them out.
It's really, doing the play-by-play thing and traveling with the team. The one thing that's really jumped out at me, and it's really changed a lot of my on-air opinions, about coaches. Like, I am way, way more forgiving on coaches than maybe I was in the past. Not that I was ever that guy, but watching the amount of work and preparation that goes into just one individual game was mind-blowing to me. Like, I knew you guys were prepared. I knew you guys put in the work. All of that. But the amount of information that is gathered on each individual player on that opposing roster, it's just like, holy smokes. And I've seen a lot of coaches come through, and that's the one constant is every coaching staff just puts in hours and hours and hours of work on every single scout.
Yeah, it's not for lack of work. I mean, I think every team has their way of doing things. I will say, though, that, some nights you can be ultra prepared.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can be too prepared. That is one of the great, when you're game prepping, it's how much of this do I really give these guys? And through the years, it became less and less. In the beginning, you want to give them everything so they're prepared, but you give them everything, they're not going to remember any of it.
Yeah.
So a couple of things that are important, a couple of key tendencies by guys, a couple of key sets, and then you put your guys out there to trust what you do. Did
you guys split it up like a rotation on scouts?
Mm-hmm. My very first scout was Utah State.
Oh, really?
In the Stu era.
Nice.
Yeah, my first year was 2009-10 was my first year as an assistant, and it was like game 3. I think we played Utah State at our place, and Stu had 1 million plays. So what do you prepare for? So I just tried to find families of plays, like, hey, these are all pin downs, and this is how you navigate pin downs. These are all flares. So you got to talk about flares and all the different screens he set. There was one kind of this high post action they ran, and I thought, we'll be okay with that one. I'm going to leave that out. First play of the game, they throw it to McKelly. And if you remember, you throw it to the high post against Utah State, strong side cuts, right? And you've always got that backdoor option. Well, everybody asked me in the scout, well, what if he wheels that way because it's opened up? I'm like, he's not going to wheel that way. I haven't seen him do it. First play of the game, does it, wheels, nobody's there, and one dunk. And coach came over to me, he's like, where was that in the game prep? He's one of the ones I left out. So, yeah, you have to know your stuff in the crunch time. I mean, you could be basically in a game and it comes down to the last couple minutes and there's an out of bounds play and coach looks at you, what are they going to run? And you got to have enough intel, and you have to watch enough tape in those moments to know what they're going to go to. And it's crazy how many times you're right if you're prepared.
You really? Okay. Because I got to imagine that's got to be like, if you nail it and you guys have the right defense in play and your guys exactly execute, there's probably not a better feeling as an assistant coach. Like, I scouted, I knew it, we were prepared for it, and we executed, and we won a game because of it. And then there's probably no lonelier feeling than the other way.
Where you leave them hanging. Yeah. When you walk off the floor and you feel like, man, we did not give our team the essence of these guys. Bottom line, the coach blames himself for everything. Right? Yeah. Any coach worth his salt. There's a lot of coaches, maybe some are shorter than others, live on the West Coast, that like to berate their players. But I think that is, that's just a sign that you didn't do everything you could.
Yeah. All right. Lloyd, spin it.
The Raiders are on the clock.
NFL draft kicks off tonight, first round for the NFL draft, and Fernando Mendoza will be your number 1 overall pick. He will go to the Raiders. It's not official yet, obviously, but we all know. But Fernando will not be at the draft. No. He's going to be at home with his family in Florida, and the NFL was none too pleased. The NFL wanted him at the draft. In fact, they even called some guy named Peyton Manning to call Mendoza and say, you should really be at the draft. But Manning confirmed that the league had reached out to him to encourage him to go to the draft. But Mendoza said, no, his mother has multiple sclerosis, wheelchair bound, and that is one of the reasons why he wanted to stay at home in Miami so that she could be there and feel comfortable with her son being the number 1 overall pick and not have to worry about getting around and all the other obligations that come along with it with her medical condition. Oh, man, Vegas is going to ruin this kid. He's just a sweet spirit. He's a good young man, and Vegas is just going to chew him up and spit him out.
I just looked up the definition of Raider, and I don't think it fits this kid. I was hoping it would be more like, bucks the trend. That would be great. But this is one that attempts to usually hostile takeover of a business corporation is what I got.
Yeah.
That's a Raider.
Yeah, I don't think that fits the mold. Like, here's his quote. Pittsburgh is a great opportunity and a great venue and a great town, and I'm really excited to see all the guys walk across the stage on Thursday night. But my mom really wanted to do it at home, and so did my parents, and with her condition, it just made sense. It's a lot easier for us with our family situation. I'm going to hop on a plane in the morning anyways, so it's just easier for me to stay at home. Oh, man. I want to hate this guy. He's impossible to hate.
No, he's doing the right thing. And the story's so cool. Totally unexpected. This was not where everybody thought he would be picked. The family history of, coming over from Cuba. There's just so much to this kid. But I do believe that when we talked to Josh earlier, he said that the thing that really is lasting about this kid is his ability to relate to people. And we know that, as a quarterback, that's one of your biggest things is being able to relate, to get guys to go to battle with you, for you. I'm excited to see it play out. I agree with you. He's an incredible kid that's going to definitely learn a whole lot about the world in the next few years.
A little bit of breaking news from Shams, the Milwaukee Bucks and Taylor Jenkins finalizing a deal to make Jenkins the franchise new head coach. Jenkins, a Bucks assistant back in 18-19, went 250 and 214 and made 3 postseasons across 6 seasons as the coach at Memphis. And now it looks like he will be taking over Milwaukee.
I love Taylor Jenkins. He and Quinn Snyder are pretty attached.
Yeah.
He's a guy who I felt like did a great job in Memphis and got a little derailed by the situation.
Oh, yeah.
Good coach. Seems to be, and desperately Milwaukee needed a good coach.
Yes.
Doc, for whatever reason, felt like he needed to go take that job. It was a mistake. Nothing good came from it, and Milwaukee's actually plummeted. So Taylor will go in there and try to fix things. I like him. I think it's a great choice.
Is Giannis on that roster opening night?
I don't believe so.
I don't either.
That's going to be one of the big stories this offseason.
Yeah. So I got to imagine Jenkins goes into that with eyes wide open and knowing that it could be a little rough there. Because you're not going to get – I mean, it's going to be pennies on the dollar for Giannis.
But I think he'll be really happy he doesn't have to deal with John Morant. Seriously.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was the undoing.
He was catching strays on Jaw all over the place.
All over the place, and he couldn't get away from them. I mean, they were winning. I caught that.
Yeah, thanks.
Shrapnel.
Yeah.
See, I'm slow on the uptake, but I did get it. It came back to me.
Well, you know what? Look, Ja, brandished his reputation out there, and ultimately it led to an ugly, ugly situation in Memphis.
It did. It led to his exit.
Yeah.
And I am telling you, he's going to do a really good job in Milwaukee. That's a much better situation. It's one that he can now just take a deep breath and go do his thing.
Yep. Shoot a shot somewhere else. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. 1:45. Take a quick break and wrap up this bad boy next, right here on the Zone.
The best sports radio in Utah is right here, right here. This is Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaCoe, on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, parking the car in the driveway, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Another edition of Jake and Ben coming up next. It always feels weird because I'm used to Jake being in studio when I came in, and now we're flipping. Now I see PK when I walk in, and then Jake walks in when we leave. So I'm still trying to wrap my brain around this a little bit.
Well, it's new for you, but it's also new for me. I love seeing these guys.
Oh, I do too.
I love seeing Jake Scott. I work with him, and the funny thing is the season would end and we wouldn't see each other for a couple of months trying to recoup. But now, get to pass each other, give each other a little squeeze. It's good.
Oh, okay. Hugs. Okay. Yeah, sorry. My bad.
That's only you and I, dog.
Okay. All right. Just making sure.
Hey, I just saw this. Kansas City Chiefs defensive back Dave Merritt was arrested today, hours before the
Does that
First round
surprise
of
you,
the
Lloyd?
2026 NFL
Between
draft.
the Chiefs and the Broncos, no, they're up there
it's
towards the
not
top.
the-
You
when's
know the Broncos are up there.
I do not know the Broncos are up there. When's the last time the Broncos got themselves into trouble? You had some report.
What are you talking about? They have a history of it. The Broncos and the Chiefs.
You found some random tweet
No,
that somebody sent out.
it wasn't.
That you're like, oh, the Broncos. I don't remember last time a Bronco got
Oddly,
arrested.
since the Raiders moved to Vegas, they're on the up and up.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of one. Outside of one.
Oh, that was a big one.
Yeah, it was not good. Bob.
Yeah.
It's so much like Vrabel, he'll miss some of the draft. I just wanted to get to that.
So Vrabel has decided to miss the third round of the draft because he wants to focus on his family and counseling. And I mentioned this in the first segment. There's that point system where every pick in the draft is assigned a point. Number one overall has like 1,000 points. Round 3, 20th pick overall is 200 points. Well, essentially, so when you're trading, you affix a point value in the draft. So he has given his family a point value of a fourth round pick or lower, because that's day 3 of the draft is the fourth round and on. So apparently that's the value, the draft value that he's given to his family.
So not a franchise tag.
Not a franchise,
for
no.
the family.
Nope. Not a first, not a second, not a third. No, fourth or
Middle rounder.
Yeah.
That's
rounder.
about where
and
you are.
And it could be a seventh rounder. Who knows? But he just day 3. We're done here.
I would just be praying for Mr. Irrelevant, who is always. It's always fun to see who that is. We got to talk about that one tomorrow.
By the way, Sam Merrill, former Mr. Irrelevant in the NBA,
that's right,
and doing quite well for himself now.
Man, Sam Merrill is he's an NBA starter,
and making really good money too.
Making good money.
All right, so when you so tomorrow on the show, we'll have a chance to talk about your new quarterback.
I'm so excited.
Mendoza.
I'm going to go home and listen to ABBA.
Go listen to all the ABBA tonight. And then we will be live at Tim Daly Nissan coming up tomorrow. So make sure to stop by, say hi. It's the big dealership just west off of I-15 after that 106 South exit. You'll see it from the freeway. Stop by. It's a massive building, huge inventory. But when you walk in, they're going to treat you just like family. Tyler and his crew, they're great people. They've got the forever warranty as well. So make sure to stop by and hang out because we're going to have some fun tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to it. I did notice last time I was there, they had a Diet Coke machine. So I'll be back and forth to that and to the men's room all night long.
Are you Diet Coke or Coke Zero?
Diet.
Really?
Diet Coke. Yeah. Coke Zero is too sweet for me.
See, I'm all about the Coke Zero.
Yeah, I don't like. I like mine more acidic and bland. I gather because that's what Diet Coke. It's just I'm addicted to it now. I love it.
Yeah, I will go through a couple of these every day of Coke Zero.
You don't even want to know. No, I know what you put through. You go for the heavy stuff during the show.
Well,
that's like that fine fuel you put in race cars.
And you just got to get across the finish line. You get hour 12 of the show or hour 2 of the show at the 12 o'clock hour. You got to have that little kick.
Or 3 or 4 kicks.
Okay, no, only one today.
Whichever.
Only one.
Whatever it takes.
All right. Coming up next, Jake and Ben right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.